an original podcast from podlatino.com.
In July 2019, the music industry erupted with headlines. Taylor Swift, one of the biggest pop stars in the world, did not own the masters to her first 6 albums. Her catalogue, containing hits like Love Story, Shake It Off and Blank Space, had been sold to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings through the acquisition of Big Machine Label Group. For many fans, this revelation was shocking. How could a global superstar with millions of records sold and billions of streams not own her own music? For the industry, it was a reminder of a long-standing truth. Ownership in music has always been complex, and often artists are the last to benefit. This moment sparked a cultural and economic debate. What does it mean to own your masters, and why does it matter so much? In this episode of Behind the Charts, we explore the Taylor Swift saga and what it reveals about the economics of ownership in the modern music industry. Let's start with some basics. In the music business, the term masters refers to the original sound recordings of a song or album. Whoever owns the masters controls how the music is reproduced, licensed, and monetized. That means decisions about whether a track can appear in a movie, a commercial, or a video game lie in the hands of the master owner. For decades, standard recording contracts have given labels ownership of masters in exchange for funding production, marketing, and distribution. Artists receive royalties, but not full control. Taylor Swift signed to Big Machine Records as a teenager. At the time, this was a dream come true. She got the backing of a label that could promote her music to the world. But like many artists, she signed away ownership of her masters. This was standard practice, but it came back to haunt her years later. By the time her contract with Big Machine ended in 2018, Swift had become one of the most powerful figures in music. When she tried to negotiate ownership of her future masters, she was offered a deal. For every new album she delivered, she could earn back one of her old ones. She declined, calling it an unfair trade. Instead, she moved to Republic Records under Universal Music Group, a deal that allowed her to own her future masters outright. Then came the sale. In 2019, Big Machine sold its assets, including Swift's masters, to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings. For Swift, this was personal. She accused Braun of years of bullying and expressed outrage that her musical legacy was now controlled by someone she considered an adversary. Her fans rallied behind her, sparking the hashtag #IStandWithTaylor and igniting public conversations about ownership, power, and fairness in the music industry. Financially, the stakes were enormous. Swift's catalogue was valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. Owning those masters meant controlling not just past sales, but also future revenue from licensing, streaming, and cultural ubiquity. For an investor like Braun, it was a lucrative asset. For Swift, it was a painful reminder of lost control. But Swift didn't stop there. In a move that shocked the industry, she announced she would re-record her first 6 albums. By creating new Taylor's versions, she could steer fans and businesses toward her re-recordings, undermining the value of the old masters. The strategy worked. Fearless, Taylor's version, and Red, Taylor's version, both debuted at number 1, and fans embraced them wholeheartedly. Sync deals began favouring the re-recordings. Swift had done something nearly unthinkable. She had reclaimed her catalogue by duplicating it. The ripple effects were massive. Swift's battle highlighted the importance of master ownership for artists of all levels. Young musicians became more aware of what they were signing away in contracts. Labels faced pressure to renegotiate terms. Fans learned that streaming a re-recorded version was not just a show of support, but a financial and symbolic statement. The economics of ownership became a mainstream conversation. Traditionally, labels argue that they deserve master ownership because they bear the financial risk of developing artists. Recording an album, funding videos, marketing campaigns, and touring support can cost millions. Labels want security for their investment. Artists, on the other hand, argue that their creativity should not be permanently controlled by someone else. Swift's case showed how the balance of power can shift when an artist reaches superstar status. Swift's decision to re-record also created a fascinating market dynamic. Usually, old masters hold timeless value. Catalogue sales have become a booming business, with companies paying billions to acquire the rights to songs by Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, and others. But Swift disrupted this logic. By producing near-identical re-recordings, she diminished the exclusivity of the originals. It was both a business move and a cultural statement. Fans could choose which version to support, and most chose hers. There are lessons here for the broader industry. First, the importance of negotiating ownership early. Second, the power of fan loyalty in reshaping business realities. And third, the fact that in the streaming era, re-recordings can actually compete with originals in a way that wasn't possible in the past. Swift's battle isn't just about one artist, it's about a shift in the way music is valued and controlled. Ownership is not just a legal detail, it's the key to long-term wealth and autonomy in the industry. Her fight inspired other artists to demand better deals and greater transparency. At the end of the day, Taylor Swift versus the Masters is more than a personal feud. It's a case study in modern music economics. It shows that charts may reflect popularity, but ownership determines who benefits financially. Behind the charts, the price of ownership can be higher than anyone imagines.